Hi everybody, welcome in Specialized Foreign Language Level 1 about Tourism Studies Hospitality Management. أهلا ومرحبا بالجميع في فيديو جديد حول دراسات متخصصة باللغة الإنجليزية للمستوى الأول عن السياحة وإدارة الفنادق. Today we are going to talk about a good idea which is under the title Travel Experiences and Sustainable Tourism. النهاردة هنتكلم عن فكرة متميزة جدا حول الخبرات الخاصة بالسفر والسياحة المستدامة. Let's begin our talking with travel experiences. هنبدأ كلامنا عن خبرات السفر. What do you mean by that? It's a form of tourism in which people focus on experiencing a country, city, a particular place by actively and meaningfully engaging with its history, people, culture, food and environment. خبرات السفر معناها انه انا ده شكل من اشكال السياحة لانه انا بتعامل فيه على تركيزي على البشر بخبراتهم اللي بيمروا بيها في دول معينة أو مدن أو أماكن محددة هم راحوها وتركت بالنسبة لهم ارتباط ذو معنى ونشط جدا، قد يكون ارتباط بتاريخ الناس، الثقافة، الطعام أو حتى البيئة اللي هم زاروها. Let's listen to this audio about travel experiences and then you will have some questions. You can write your answers in the comments and then I will check them. Listen to this.
Describing a good and bad experience. 1 year ago, I decided to quit my job and travel the world. Day 1. Arriving at the airport to be surrounded by taxi drivers was a little stressful. I was tired from my flight, and I wasn't interested in dealing with this kind of intensity. Thankfully, things improved when I arrived at my hotel. The staff were friendly, and the hotel was fantastic. The food especially was amazing. Day 2. I walked around the local area in the morning and enjoyed looking in the interesting local stores. I ate some of the famous street food that I'd heard about. It was so good that I had seconds. Day 3. I spent the evening at a bar that was popular with tourists. But I was disappointed. It was too expensive, and the music was awful. Later, I went to a club to dance, but the music was terrible. Unfortunately, the whole night was a waste of time. Day 4. It was a much better day. We went out on a fishing boat with some local people and spent the day enjoying the sun, enjoying some good company, and catching a surprising amount of fish. Later, I saw the sunset over the ocean, which was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen.
After listening to this audio, concentrate on these questions. The speaker talked about 4 days he had both as a travel experience. الصوت اللي احنا سمعناه او الملف الصوتي كان بيتكلم على خبرة للسفر اللي تحدث فيها جاوب على الأسئلة دي. So you're going to listen again and then you will have the answers. What did he decide 1 year ago? What did the blog post about? What was he surrounded by when he arrived? What did he eat on the second day? How was the park that he went to? How was his night? Where did he enjoy the sun on the final day? And what was one of the most beautiful things he ever see? You can listen to this again and you can answer. Listen, please.
Describing a good and bad experience. 1 year ago, I decided to quit my job and travel the world. Day 1. Arriving at the airport to be surrounded by taxi drivers was a little stressful. I was tired from my flight, and I wasn't interested in dealing with this kind of intensity. Thankfully, things improved when I arrived at my hotel. The staff were friendly, and the hotel was fantastic. The food especially was amazing. Day 2. I walked around the local area in the morning and enjoyed looking in the interesting local stores. I ate some of the famous street food that I'd heard about. It was so good that I had seconds. Day 3. I spent the evening at a bar that was popular with tourists. But I was disappointed. It was too expensive, and the music was awful. Later, I went to a club to dance, but the music was terrible. Unfortunately, the whole night was a waste of time. Day 4. It was a much better day. We went out on a fishing boat with some local people and spent the day enjoying the sun, enjoying some good company, and catching a surprising amount of fish. Later, I saw the sunset over the ocean, which was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen.
Here you listen to the talker or the person who is telling us his experience, bad and good experiences. سمعنا مرة تانية الملف الصوتي اللي اتكلم فيه عن ال good and bad experiences about traveling. Yes. Question number 1. What did he decide 1 year ago? The answer is 1 year ago he decided to quit his job and travel the world. He said that in the audio. Question number 2. What is the blog post about? It was about travel experiences. Yes, he is telling us about his experience. He told us about 4 days he paused in traveling. So, this is a blog post about. What was he surrounded by when he arrived? When he arrived at the first day, he arrived at the airport to be surrounded by taxi drivers. Was a little stressful. That was in the first day. He arrived and then in the airport he is surrounded by the taxi drivers, and he said it was the first day experience or day 1 experience. Then he was tired from the flight and he wasn't interested in dealing. So that was a good experience or a bad experience. Think about that. Question number 3. What did he eat on the second day? And the second day, after his experience on the first day, he decided to go to local area in the morning, and he enjoyed looking interesting at the local store. He ate some famous street dishes or food. He had heard about them. Okay, this is in the second day. So it was a good experience. The first day was a little bit bad experience. The second one was a good experience. How was the part that he won? Win that part. Yes. In the second day, he ate from the street. So he ate seconds because he admired that. In day 3, he spent evening on the bar that was popular with tourists but was disappointed. It was too expensive and the music was awful as he described in his audio. Later he went to the club. Yes. So his night was in that day a waste of time as he described in the audio. So that day little bit not good and not bad. In day 4 it was for him the better day. It was a better day because he went a fishing boat with some local people and spent the day enjoying good company and catching surprising amount of fish. Later he saw the sunset of the ocean, which was one of the most beautiful things he has in his trip or in his travel. So the last day was the most beautiful day he spent. Write your answers in the comments and leave your name and I will reply to you. بعد سمعنا للأوديو أنا جاوبت على الأسئلة اللي المفروض إنها مرتبطة بالأوديو. هنسمعه أكتر مرة ونكتب إجاباتنا في التعليقات وأكيد هيتم الرد عليها واحتسابها. Vocabulary كلمات مرتبطة بالtravel experience. Let's listen to them. Amazing, amount, awful, deal with, disappointed, especially, improve, intensity, local, popular, stressful, surprising, surrounded, thankfully, unfortunately, waste of time. These are the most popular words we have used in the audio. Match the words on the left with the meaning on the right. Here we have some words, adjectives, nouns, phrases, expressions, verbs, adverb, whatever they are, and you have the meaning on the right. I will give you the answers. Let's begin. Number 1, awful, extremely bad. Number 2, intensity, the quality of being felt strongly and having a very strong effect. Number 3, stressful, causing mental or emotional stress. Number 4, waste of time, not worth the time spent to do something. Number 5, to have seconds, to have an extra serving of food. Number 6, surround, to be everywhere, around someone or something. Deal with, this is number 7, to take action in order to achieve something or to solve a problem. Number 8, especially, more than usually, to a great extent. Number 9, improve, it means make or become better. Number 10, disappointed, it means sad or unhappy because something or someone was not as you were expecting. So we have answered that. Then we will move to a discussion. It's a general discussion about travel and life experiences. You can write whatever you want. قدامنا مناقشة عامة تقدر تكتب فيها الإجابات بشكل يتناسب معاك برضو in reply, in comment, تجاوب في التعليقات. Discuss the following questions about travel and life experiences. What are the best and worst ways to travel? Plan, train, car, hiking, etc. ايه أفضل أو أسوأ وسيلة للسفر من وجهة نظرك؟ هل هي الطائرة، القطار، السيارة؟ وهتقول ليه؟ Do you take time to enjoy the sunrise or sunset؟ تاخد وقت عشان تستمتع بشروق أو غروب الشمس. When you travel, how about in everyday life؟ لما بتسافر شكل الحياة اليومية بالنسبة لك في السفر ايه؟ Do you tend to eat a lot when you travel؟ تبقى ناوي تاكل كتير وانت مسافر؟ Do you like street food؟ تحب أكل الشارع؟ Do you go bars or nightclubs when you travel? Why or why not؟ تحب تروح البارات أو الملاهي الليلية لو سافرت؟ ليه ليه لأ؟ Have you ever had extremely memorable services either good or bad؟ هل عندك ذكريات لخدمات لا تنسى سواء كانت جيدة أو سيئة؟ هنتظر الكومنتس بتاعتكم وهرد أكيد عليها. Here, if we are going to complete this, you should watch again the video or listen again to the audio, and then you can answer the question. I will tell you the answers, okay? So listen carefully. Here we are going to talk about the experiences related with the travel. The teller of the audio tell us, he said 1 year ago he decided to leave his work and travel the world, as he said in the audio. So it was important to know what he decided to do. The blog was about time in Indonesia, okay? So the teller will tell us about first day, second day, third day, and fourth day. It was amazing. It was a good trip, and he described it well. So arriving at the airport to be surrounded by taxi driver was a little what he described. What do you think? A little what? Yes, write your answer. He was tired from the flight and wasn't interested in dealing with this kind of. Then, thankfully, things improved when he arrived at the hotel, and the staff was friendly, and the hotel was. So, the food especially was amazing. Listen carefully and put your answers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you are going to write 4 answers about day 1. Then I walked around and he said war area in the morning and enjoyed looking in the interesting local stores. I ate some of there, and you write what he ate. Street food that I'd heard about. It was so good that I had. So here you are going to write 5, 6, 7 and your answers. In day 3, he spent the evening at the park that was popular with tourists, but it was too expensive and the music was helpful. Later, I went to club dance, but the music was terrible, unfortunately. The whole night was yes, what was about it? Waste of time or what? Then, in day 4, he described it was a much better day when we went out on a fishing boat with some local people and enjoying the sun, enjoying some good company and catching a surprising amount of fish. Later he saw the sunset over the ocean, which was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. Right now we have moved to sustainable tourism. دلوقتي هنتكلم عن sustainable tourism اللي هي السياحة المستدامة.
What is sustainable tourism? It's about keeping your feet on the ground, so the skies above remain pure and clean. It's about saying goodbye to single-use plastics, so we can say hello to unspoiled mountains and oceans. It's about making your stay eco-friendly, so that you can keep the environment the way it should be. It's about nurturing nature, so that it keeps welcoming you back. Anyone can take part in sustainable tourism. It's easy, exciting, and fun. All it takes is a great sense of adventure and the knowledge that doing simple things can leave nature pure and pristine. Sustainable tourism preserves the places we love, so we can keep the fun going.
Yes, here. We are going to talk about sustainable tourism. It refers to sustainable practices in and by the tourism industry. It's an aspiration to acknowledge all impacts of tourism, both positive and negative. It aims to minimize the negative impact and minimize the positive one. Negative impacts to a destination include economic leakage, damage to the natural environment, and overcrowding, to name a few. Positive impacts to a destination include job creation, cultural heritage preservation and interpretation, wildlife preservation, landscape restoration, and more. السياحة المستدامة هي ممارسات مهمة جدا بتسهم في صناعة السياحة بشكل عام، لأنها بتأثر عليها وبيكون لها أثر قد يكون إيجابي أو سلبي، لكن إحنا بنهدف دايما إلى أن إحنا نقلل التأثيرات السلبية ونزيد من الآثار الإيجابية. التأثيرات السلبية بيكون لها دور يعني في البيئة نفسها والحفاظ على الجوانب الطبيعية، لكن الحاجات الإيجابية معناها إني بزود كده من الخدمات ونقل الحياة بشكل جيد والحفاظ عليها وتقديم أشياء فيها لاندسكيب واسع وخلافه. Listen to this conversation about sustainable tourism.
Hey, have you heard about sustainable tourism?
Yeah, it's all about being a responsible traveler and preserving the environment and culture of the places you visit.
How can we be more sustainable when we travel?
Support local businesses and communities, reduce our carbon footprint, and be mindful of our impact on the environment.
I also heard that we should try to minimize our waste by using reusable water bottles and bags.
Definitely. Every little bit helps. And respect local customs.
I'll keep these things in mind for my next trip. Thanks.
Here they talk about sustainable tourism and what they are preferring to do. It's your role. Right now, you're going to talk about both good or bad travel experience. هتكتب عن خبراتك الجيدة أو السيئة في السفر. If you quit your job, what would you do? لو سبت شغلك هتعمل ايه؟ If you could take a 1 month holiday starting tomorrow, where would you go? لو هتاخد اجازة تبدأ من بكرة هتروح فين؟ Do you prefer to relax or adventure when you travel? تحب تسترخي لما تسافر ولا تعيش حياة المغامرة؟ Are you willing to try any local dishes when you travel? What are your limitations if any? حابب تجرب أكل محلي أو سوقي لما تسافر؟ إيه هي حدودك في ده؟ What kinds of activities do you like to do when you travel? إيه أنواع الأنشطة اللي تحب تعملها وأنت مسافر؟ أوه دي حاجة رائعة. Then what are your best or worst travel memories, domestic or international? ايه هي ابرز الذكريات اللي مريت بيها سواء كانت جيدة او سيئة لما سافرت محليا او عالميا. So by this we have finished our video. Listen carefully about each screen we have presented in the video. Waiting for you in next videos. See you later. Thank you for listening and goodbye.